In some ways, the aftermath, in particular, of what we saw represents the very worst of Washington. And, you know, the most bizarre briefing I think I ever attended was the briefing we had on September 20th, where the intelligence community said more than nothing, and it was a bizarre briefing at best. It happened in the middle of a political campaign, and obviously there was a lot of spin from the White House and a lot of comments made on both sides of the aisle, which heightened a lot of the focus on Benghazi. I think it also represented a sclerotic department that in many ways made decisions that weren't based on what was best for those in the field. I think it represented, in many ways, a denial of the world as it really is today. And I think after reading the ARB, it also represented, to me, a committee that has never done its work, or at least in the 6 years that I've been here, has never done the kind of oversight that this committee ought to do. But I think it also represents an awakening. I know that you have known this, and I know especially many of the members on this committee have known this, but the spiking of the ball and the thinking that when Osama bin Laden was gone, that was the end of al-Qaeda, we know nothing could be further from the truth. And the Arab Spring has actually ushered in a time where al-Qaeda is on the rise. The world in many ways is even more dangerous as we lack a central command and instead have these nodes that are scattered throughout North Africa and other places. And I think this creates an opportunity for us to develop a policy that really addresses the world as it really is today. And then thirdly, Madam Secretary, I know that it was a great personal loss to you that Chris Stevens died in the way that he did, and his 3 colleagues died in the way that they did. I know that you know I was on the ground in Libya immediately after this, and I know you've experienced this, and some of the other members of the committee have, but to look at the faces of those on the ground in Libya in a state of shock, people that we sent there doing expeditionary diplomacy, who felt like they were on a tether and candidly did not have the support from Washington that they needed to do the things that they needed to do.